Happy hump day. My wallpaper has still not arrived. I told you that it would get better and better each week in this podcast studio, and it just hasn't. But you know what? That's life. There's an echo that's killing me. I bet you just 1 week it'll just snap and it'll all come together, and we'll have wallpaper and we'll have a light and we'll have sound, and that's not going to stop us. Let's get into it. Hello, world. Come inside the Dear Juju podcast. Happy hump day. This week was packed full. Okay, first thing I want to say, I can't yell because there's a huge echo. Somebody texted me a photo of them listening to me on the TV, and just shout out. I mean, it just never gets old. Thank you so much. You guys give me energy. Hopefully I give you good energy. Hopefully you listen to me while you're taking a shit and, you have a little giggle or you hear something that you needed to hear. So I went to London's Decorative, Antique, and Textile Fair, and let me tell you, it was posh. It was too rich for my blood, that's for sure. They needed music. They had it in the coffee in the corner. They had wine, they had music, they had it going on over there. But in the actual fair, I was like, you guys, we need to loosen up, because if we get a little loose, that's when people spend their money. But it was all these booths of antiques. Now, I like to go to those things and curate the old eye, right? Refine the eye. Ooh, $10,000, $9,000, $5,000. Right? And just go, okay, I see what that's doing. I see what that is. Then I take my gorgeous ass to the flea markets. And with my curated eye, that's how you get champagne taste on a beer budget. Very important. Very important to go to bougie things. But let me tell you something. Those bougie motherfuckers, no one could mess with my outfit. My look, I had the green hat. I had this leopard jacket on. I had on a houndstooth pink and white skirt. And people were gagging. People were stopping me. I just have to tell you, I'm admiring your outfit. I love your hat. I love your patterns you're giving. And I said, thank you very much. The outfits slammed, okay, per usual. And then I went to Your Quarterly Invited. That's the name of the movie title. Reese Witherspoon, Will Ferrell. We went to the premiere. Me and my homegirl, Lou and Luland. I got invited by Lou. It's on Amazon Prime only. And we looked so fab. No one was walking the red carpet. And they opened the velvet rope for us. We went in and we took pictures. And they took pictures of us because we looked so fab. Oh, and I have a broken nail. I have a theory about a broken nail. If you have a broken nail, I just don't think you should go outside the house. I don't think you should see anyone. I think you should cut off all communication. That's how strongly I feel. But I love you so much, and my appointment is in a couple of hours, so I have to record. This is tragic. Close up shop until you get that nail fixed. But I'm breaking my cardinal rule. So Decorative Fair, film movie premiere for Amazon Prime. Then my best friend, who's a producer she's from New York. I met her in Los Angeles, and she moved to Sweden to open up a post house. We had the best weekend. Selfridges. Madame Tussauds. What is that? Her son wanted to go to it. And I was like, I better see all kids, because any grown-ass adult that is going to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum to take a picture of a wax figure, that is weird. It is so weird. I was like, bitch, just get a candle. Fucking do a smiley face. Jeez. Say it's fucking Kim Kardashian, because let me tell you, they got the same thing going on the inside. I mean, it's just like a wax museum of celebrities is weird already. I think that celebrity culture is going down, as it is with social media and things like this. And then it's like a wax museum of celebrities is even more odd. I was just like, Rocco was beelining through the whole thing, wasn't even waiting for his friend. And I was like, we'll meet you guys at the end. Yeah, we'll see ya. Her son was super into it, and I feel like that's appropriate. Like, if you're 4, 5, 6, but my kids, they're not exposed to celebrities. They have no idea who these people are. And then they're like, what are we doing looking at all these things? And I said, right? We're here for them. But my son wanted to take him to an adventure park where we zip-lined and walked the treetops. I was a little like, because it's a little scary. You're only up there on a freaking carabiner. and you're connected to this rope and that's it. And you're like in the treetops. But my son and daughter, man, they were beeline through the whole thing. They loved it. They have their father's Australian spirit. Let's jump out of planes. Let's do weird shit. I call it white people shit. I know I'm white, but it seems like extra white for some reason. I don't know. I'm just like, but I did it. And I had so much fun. In the zip line, I cracked up because you do a crash landing on this pad. And oh my God, I hit that landing so hard. It was so much fun. We had a really lovely weekend. Adventure park, my damn tooth though. But then, oh my God, we ate at Din Tai Fung. And I'll tell you about that later when we get to the domestic goddessness, the holy guacamole. Okay, I have a little PSA, and I would like to, especially if you're a mom, but just anybody, get involved with card games. You guys, a deck of cards, forget about it. So I was on the train the other day, and I saw this couple. They were kind of a young couple in their 20s, and they were playing War. Do you remember War, where you just flip and the highest one gets it, right? And they were playing War on the train. They weren't looking at their phone. They were engaged. They were laughing. They were talking. And I thought, oh my God, I remember that game. And I remember playing that as a young kid. I'm going to teach that to my son. So as soon as my best friend left, I got out the deck of cards and I taught him War. They are obsessed with playing War now. First of all, you're engaged. It's fun and it's screenless. Okay, it is classic. Card games now, he loves solitaire, he loves War. I'm just gonna Google every single day a new card game. I wanna get into Mahjong. I don't know what that's about. I wanna get back into games. Games are so much fun. I have such a game spirit. But don't forget about a deck of cards. You and your husband, something where it's just no screens and you can have such a good time. I want to learn poker. I'm going to Italy and the Amalfi Coast. I'm planning my sister's 50th birthday. And I'm like, we should bring a deck of cards and play poker. We should just have a good time with a deck of cards and each other and connection. Especially if you're a mom to young kids, get them involved, create connection by having cards. I need to learn more card games. Don't forget about cards. It's so damn fun. Yesterday, I roasted chicken for the first time here in England, and the bird, I swear to God, was a fucking supermodel. She was so skinny and so long. It was so weird. I was like, bird, you're a model. Its drumstick was extra long. I swear it was kind of had a cunty energy. I'm used to the short, fat, probably hormone-filled ones in the States. And I was like, this bird is a model. And cooking the bird and it being so different kind of had me feeling some kind of way. And then the one thing that I brought from Los Angeles was my Mavier. What's the Mavier, Juge? It is the most beautiful French roasting pan that you can buy. It's expensive, it's high quality, it's the best. Well, guess what? Put it in the oven, tried to close the door, it doesn't fit. The one fucking thing I brought from the States is too big to fit in this little tiny elegant British oven. Okay. But then a song played that I usually play in LA when it's really good weather and I'm having fun, and I just started bawling. Started missing LA so much. And why? It's not just about what I talked about last week about Los Angeles, but it's about the pillars of people that I had there. To my left, I had one of my greatest loves and friends that I had, family that I just absolutely fell in love with. It's very rare for me to find a connection and kind of like people. I'm sure we're all the same, but most of the time I'm thinking, can you shut up so I can go back home? I just want to spend time with myself. It's really hard to find good neighbors and then to find just on that level, people that you connect with in a way. And then I had the same feeling 2 doors down. They moved from Australia, but I knew that they were going to be temporary and they came a little later. But still, the bond was very deep. And then up the way was Rocco's best friend, another bond. So I had this triangle of people in my neighborhood. And then, Recess and Pickwick and Arcade, my shops. And those people became my friends. When they have parties, I see all the people. And then just my friends, one in the city, one in Burbank, one in, I have my besties in Bakersfield. So it's just like you have all these pillars that you feel grounded to, right? All your people. And it's just like, I don't have people here yet. My neighbors, I've met them. They're absolutely lovely. They're very nice. It's not really, the same as LA, but they're awesome. They're cool. I really like them. So that's good. But it's just like, I spent 23 years there. I think the most important thing for it to feel like home is you got to get out there and you got to get involved. When my mom went to the airport in Los Angeles and she dropped me off, she looked at me. It was the best advice she ever fucking gave. She looked at me and she said, go get involved. Go straight to the dance studio. Go ask someone out for dinner. So you have to get involved in your community for your community to feel like a community. I've started doing F45. I haven't really made friends there yet, but it's really close and it feels good. So I feel like that could start to be a pillar. But my brother-in-law once a month does a grilling in his backyard and he invites a bunch of people and they know it's gonna happen monthly. And it's like, come if you want, don't come if you want, but this is what's happening. And I think that is something that we're gonna start. When we meet people, we're gonna say, oh, we're having a big bash and every month on the first Sunday or whatever, we're going to start grilling and having fun and like inviting people so that it feels like we can build up our community, because you have to be the change that you want to see in the world. Things also take time for roots to grow, and I think it's just like I'm still a new little seedling just growing her roots here, and that's okay. And I think I really love it here and I believe that we're supposed to be here and it feels really good to be here, but I can also miss everything about Los Angeles as well. And I think they can both exist at the same time. Now, because I've been missing it and feeling a little bit funky, I've been snapping at my guts a little bit more than usual. And you know what I did this morning? I took a breath before my feet hit the floor. I woke up earlier than my alarm. And I felt all that guilt and that yuckiness of like snapping and being short and being bad tempered. And I gave it a bunch of space in my heart. And I said, I see you. That's not the kind of person I want to be, but I forgive you and I love you. And you have to forgive yourself before you can ask for your kids for forgiveness. So this morning I woke up with really good energy towards my kids. I hugged on them a lot. I loved on them a lot. And I apologized. And I said, hey, sorry if I've been a little bit snappy or funky lately. You don't deserve that. And mommy's just, sometimes mommy just gets a little cranky. We all have cranky days, but I shouldn't take it out on you. I love you the most, But what also helped overcome that was these card games. Yeah, and I saw Reese Witherspoon and Will Ferrell at the premiere. Is that hilarious? Pretty good movie, I gotta say. And Hello Sunshine, Reese Witherspoon's produced it, and I am such a fan of Reese. She's such a woman that's speaking up, speaking out, using her power to help people, empower people, give back to her community, set up pillars, and it's just lovely. She also gave Pasta Queen her TV show, and I'm just like, that's what I want to be. I want to be a woman that gives back, that gives to the community, that gives to women. And I can't wait till I'm in a position where I can have an open hand and make connections and set people up. And because Lou and Luland, my girlfriend, I swear she should have a reality show. She is so much fun. And it's just like, I can't wait to connect people and like go, hey, you should talk to this person and this person, and help. Be the change you want to see in the world, okay? That's my week. Now, with all that, let's get into some domestic goddesses, shall we? Okay, cooking. You guys, Din Tai Fung, David Chang. They have one here in London at Selfridges. Holy guacamole. So they have these dumplings, and in the dumplings, it's like a chicken meatball inside. But then inside that, they have broth. It explodes in your mouth with all the flavory goodness. Reminds me of hump day. Okay. Their broccoli is fantastic. What the hell are you doing this broccoli? The sauce and the chilies and the garlic. And then the fried chicken with the fried rice. I Could have that every single night. I would be swollen, absolutely colon, but it would be amazing. So if you ever get a chance to go to a Din Tai Fung, you guys, you must go. You must go. Now they have one in London, which is great because whenever I need a little taste of home in Los Angeles, I can go to Din Tai Fung in Selfridges. And let me tell you, Selfridges, the department store, you guys, it was poppin'. And you don't think that you're old until you go to a department store with a bunch of young people. I looked around and I said, why is everyone teenagers? What's happening here? Why are all these teenagers buying makeups? They all look like they were 18s, 19s. They were probably in their 20s. And I was just like, if they served drinks here, it would be a freaking poppin' club. So many beautiful women buying things, handsome men. I was like, this is a spot. This is not like the mall in America, okay? This is poppin'. There are people there filming and like interviewing people, stopping people. It was a sight to be seen. It was absolutely fat, and it was on a Saturday. Cocktails. So remember the viral moment, Negroni, Spagliato with Prosecco, right? So Negroni Spagliato is absolutely lovely. Negroni classic is equal parts gin, vermouth, Campari, right? Well, supposedly in Milan in the 70s, a bartender, instead of grabbing a bottle of gin, grabbed a bottle of Prosecco and put Prosecco in it. Prosecco, vermouth, Campari, and that was the Spagliato. So it's vermouth and Campari basically with Prosecco instead of the gin. So it's a swap. There's actually no gin in a Negroni Spagliato. Spagliato means mistake. So he made a mistake and it turned into a thing. So honey, own your mistakes because it could be the next best thing. But I had one at Din Tai Fung, a Negroni Spagliato, and it is really lovely. It's lighter, it's easier, but it feels a little bit stronger than just a spritz and a little bit more medicinal and herbal on the palate because you have the herbs from the vermouth. You have a more condensed medicinal taste from the Campari than the Aperol. So if you're looking for something really like not as heavy as a Negroni, but heavier than a spritz, I feel like a Negroni Spagliato lives right in the middle, and it's beautiful. It was perfect to have that kind of cleansing medicinal herbalness with cutting through all the oils in the Din Tai Fung. It was actually a really good pairing. Decor. You know what I'm really into? Curtain valances. Yeah, I said it. And I'm not talking about the big swaggy swags, even though that could have its moment as well. But I think just a valance of the same material so that it could hide your curtain pole is really elegant. It's taking it back to kind of a grandma-y vibe. And I dig it. I think if it's done right and I think it's done modern, I think it's really cool to have a valance, especially on something that feels really elegant. If you have a bed that has a headboard and then curtains behind that and then a valance in front of that, I think that feels really elegant, modern, lush, plush, especially if it's like velvet and pattern and they're playing on each other. I think that's really nice. And I think, mark my words, that valances are about to make a comeback in a big way like they did in the 80s. But it's not going to be swaggy. There's going to be like different kind of tailoring to bring it into the new day and age. You heard it here first. All right, now with all that, let's get into some Q&A with some tea in it. Dear Juju, I see you've moved to London. Oh yes. Hi. Yo, it's like all I've been talking about. I lived there for 10 years in my 20s and 30s. Sometimes I miss the village type feel, but I don't miss the weather or the short days. Oh my God, it was raining just before I shot this. Now it's sunny. How do you avoid the winter blues in that type of environment? Oh, that's good because I feel like a lot of people in America also have kind of this type of environment where it's cold or snowing or raining and the days are short. What you don't want to do is what I've been doing, which is reaching for the bottle a bit too much, because you have to remember that alcohol is a depressant. So it should just be enjoyed at certain times in moderation, not just for the fact of that it's bad for you, right? And it's basically a poison, and that's how you get drunk. But also what it does chemically to your brain. If you do it too much, you're going to kind of slip into a depression even more. And then that creates that cycle, right? Of, oh, I need the bottle to feel better. Oh, I'm a little bit more depressed and I need the bottle to feel better and I'm a little more depressed. And it's basically a stair step downward is what it is. So enjoy in moderation and then get your body moving. You know what I am going to do today or tomorrow? I really want to go to a hot yoga. I want to stretch. I want to sweat. And I think that's really important. Go to a place, if it's cold and rainy outside, where you can sweat and get out and get all that serotonin up and out and feel good and feel warm while combating the winter blues. I think that's the most important. Because do I really just want to go work out and lift weights? No, because it's cold in the gym, you know what I mean? But a hot yoga or going to a steam room and doing that weekly will give you something to look forward to. And I'm going to get into that. I'm going to do a hot yoga once a week, I think, from here on out, just to detoxify myself. I've been combating it with the blues with the booze, and that's not recommended. And so what I would combat the blues with is the moves. Okay, and that will get your serotonin. It'll get you feeling good. You'll never regret moving your body, especially in a heated room. Dear Juju, I've just moved into a new home. I love to cook, but I need a lot of things. How do you prioritize kitchen tools and appliances? Where should I start? Start just with whatever you're making right now. And whatever you're feeling right now. It's cold. We're in the winter still. I would get you a really good Le Creuset where you could, a big one, like a 10 quart, where you could cook big soups, where you could roast chicken, where you could braise beef and buy it as you need it. Oh, I want to bake cookies. I need a cookie sheet. Go get a cookie sheet. I need a roast chicken. My Mavier won't fit. I need to get a chicken rack. Go get a chicken rack. Do it according to need. Plan your dinners for that week, and anything you don't have, fill it in with what you need. And that way you always know, because let's be honest, we all kind of cook the same shit. I feel like that's why cooking content is so good, because we're always kind of making the same shit. We all have our go-tos that we go to, and you only need a certain amount of tools. So only do the tools that you know that you're actually going to use. So do it on a need to cook basis. Dear Juju, it's been a minute since I heard a new song. You are the lover of dance. Can you recommend any new music based on what you have been listening to? I'm so happy you're back, and I really look forward to hearing your thoughts. You guys, Thundercat, all one word, Thundercat. All of his music, just put on This Is Thundercat on Spotify. It is amazing. But the one specifically that I've been listening to and just jamming out is Funny Thing. He's a freaking genius. But also what Spotify suggests in accordance with Thundercat is a freaking, that's a good, it's like a chill groove, but with a cooking and a vibe. Okay, it's a vibe. Kind of like my dark lipstick and my leopard coat today. It's giving a 90s vibe. That's the podcast. I love you. Don't forget that you're a star. And stay tuned. You have to stay tuned. I am starting to do a decor series that's going to be amazing. We've been working really hard behind the scenes. So stay tuned for that. And this week we're going to the Kempton Flea Market. So I'm going to take you along with me. I love you. Don't forget that you're a star. Whatever you like to embody or manifest, walk in it like you got it. Walk in it. I love you. I'll see you next week, and I'm out. Mwah!